Hey y'all, it's Megan and Andy. Welcome back to the channel. Glad y'all are here today. Come spend some time with us today. We're getting into a little of this and that. I'm still slowly swimming my way through those 3 bushels of apples I decided to buy the other day.
Have you even got through 1 bushel yet?
Yes, finally.
Did you?
Finally.
Oh.
Between applesauce and today I'm making apple butter. So I didn't want to bore them with apple peeling. So
Right.
I've already got all the apples peeled and in the pot, which I'll show y'all here in just a little bit. But yeah, apple butter today. Questionable about apple jelly. I don't know. What are you doing?
Well, it's time to plant some garlic. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I kind of forgot about garlic. For some reason or another, garlic hadn't come across my mind the last few weeks. But I've decided that I'm gonna go ahead and plant some today.
We got time.
We've got time. It is wet. We got over 2.5 inches of rain last night, which was a blessing. But the places where I'm gonna be planting the garlic, it doesn't matter no ways.
Right.
And I have some multiplying onions that one of you guys give us at the event in Alabama. I think I've got a spot picked out for those as well. And luckily, if it doesn't work out there, we can always move them.
Right.
But I think I got a spot picked out for those. And honestly, I don't know exactly what else I'll be doing.
Yep.
Because it's wet.
Yeah, and my apple butter will take me the rest of the day. So.
Before we get to planting this garlic, I am going to come out here and pick what's left of our okra. There's several I've done let get too big again. That's just what happens though. But we're going to pick it and get a good picking off of it. I'm sure probably 50% of it we can eat. The other 50%'s done got too big. Let's throw the not good ones. We'll just throw them down now. I'll come back later and get them.
Okay.
But this is a hybrid type of okra, and so if I save seeds from this, it's going to come back as something else. It ain't going to be, I mean, it could come back as purple okra, but it could also come back as who knows what.
You should plant some of the hybrid, so if it'll come back and
you mean some of the heirloom?
It'll be surprised.
Oh, you mean plant some of this and see what it does?
Yeah, and it'll be like a surprise.
Well, I mean it would be. I hope y'all can see how tall this right here is. This is some of the tallest okra I've ever grew. Now look, I can't reach the very top up there. I'm gonna have to bend it over to get that okra out of the top of it. Here you go, Jacob.
Thank you.
But these big ones here, so Jacob has talked me into it. We're gonna leave these 2 plants, and what's in there we're gonna let go to seed. Well, I mean it already has went to seed, but we're gonna let them finish drying out. And I'll let Jacob plant these in his garden next year, and he can see what saving the seed from a hybrid looks like.
I hope I have enough room in my garden for these.
Well, we can plant you a plant or 2, and you can see what it does.
Okay.
I might plant some in my garden too. Start them in a seed starting tray first, and then we'll plant them out into the garden. I feel like I just picked this okra, and it's already done got too big again.
Maybe it just grows fast. Maybe it grows fast, or maybe time just flies by.
Time flies is what the problem is. It grows fast too, but time flies. I'm not going to cut none off of them because all of them have just about got too big, so we'll just leave them be. So that's all we was able to salvage, but that's a plenty. It would have been a whole lot more had we picked it like we should have, but y'all know how it is. Life happens. So now, Jacob, let's go get this other stuff planted.
On to the garlic.
That garlic. I want to show y'all real quick our walking onions. Boy, did these things multiply. And they are absolutely beautiful. Now this is some of that Super B Facilia in here too. I actually planted this raised bed in it. I'm just going to let it be. But I got some coming in amongst my walking onions here. But I can't believe them walking onions. Apparently, they really like it there. Alright, let's go.
Alright, like I just said just a few minutes ago, I already got these apples cut up and peeled. I've got one of those apple peeler cutter thingy-majiggers. I don't know what they're called. Well, I say I did. Actually, the kids did. The kids peeled 90% of these apples. And I filled up my big, I think it's a 12-quart pot. And when you're making apple butter or applesauce, you do it, the first steps are the same. Y'all saw me make applesauce on the last video. And here is the finished product. If you didn't stay around to the end of that one, there's my applesauce. Ain't it beautiful? But I need to take that and put that up. But we're doing this the exact same way. I put enough water in the bottom of this pot. I think I filled up 2 quart jars, actually, or 1.5 quarts, and put it in the bottom of this pot just to keep my apples from initially sticking when they go to cooking. So, you can see the apples have already made quite a bit of juice. That's to be expected. Hope you can see that anyway. There's juice down in there. But we're just going to let these things cook down until they are soft enough that I can mash them just like I did my applesauce. And, you know, pretty much for the apple butter is applesauce that's just cooked down more, that is sweetened a little differently. And that's really, apple butter is is cooked down, reduced applesauce. That's the word, reduced. But you can see the apples are already starting to soften, and they'll actually change colors. So right now is just kind of a hurry up and wait for the apple butter. I know a lot of folks in the comments suggested or said they enjoy making apple butter in the crock pot, and if I had a bigger crock pot, I would do it that way because I'm sure you don't have to watch it quite as closely. But when I'm doing something like this, I like to make as much at one time as I can. And if y'all have been around since back last winter when I was making all my lard, every year I make a whole lot of lard. And I do it in my big pot instead of my crock pot because I can make a bunch at one time. And this apple butter is the same way. I want to be able to make pretty good sized batch. You know, I'm doing it, you know, I'm already doing it anyway. Everything's already dirty anyway. I have plenty of apples. Why not just do it this way? It's kind of my thought on it anyway.
All right. So going into the future of my gardening, I think I'm going to start doing things just a little bit different. You know, we've always had like a field down here across the creek. We got fields up the road at our other land that we plant for garden stuff. And that all works out great. But one thing I have noticed is we can take so much better care of stuff when it's here. And it's just hands down. Now there will always be crops that I have to plant so much of that I've got to plant them out in the field. But things such as garlic, onions, stuff like that, I'm going to start utilizing the beds around our fruit trees more. Now I attempted this one year and then I kind of didn't follow through with it and just kind of let everything go. But this year this coming up year, I'm going to start doing things differently. And I'm going to do this. Out there on Berry Hill where we've had mulch forever. When you dig underneath that mulch, you've got some beautiful black soil. And it's the same thing with our fruit trees. There's been mulched for so long that all that's broke down and just made some really nice looking soil under there. And I'm like, the trees aren't big enough yet that they're going to shade everything out. We might as well be taking advantage of those growing spaces. They're huge, ain't they?
Yeah.
Somebody commented and said that wasn't no collards, that was the tobacco leaf we was holding up the other day. But we're already doing it right here at the end of the raised beds. And I mean, just look now. I did have a cabbage planted right there and I think something happened to him. But I do have a little cabbage here and it's doing fair. But I have the most beautiful zucchini plant that I've ever grown right here. This particular bell pepper has been amazing.
It's purple.
Yeah, that's a purple bell. Then we had this fantastic variety of tomato right here. It's done amazing. And then I have another zucchini right here. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to cut back my my purple coneflower here, and I'm going to go ahead and take out the fantastic tomato. I mean, I think it's done. We're going to pick off what's ripe on it, and I'm going to turn this into probably my walking onion. I mean, my multiplying onions will be here, and potentially some of them over here too. And I might mingle in some garlic there as well. But then I'm also going to put in multiplying onions and garlic around all my fruit trees. We'll see how it works. You know, we have a ton of garlic left from what we picked back in, I don't know, was it the beginning of the summer or the end of spring from last year's planting? So if this ends up being a complete fail, then it's not the end of the world. But I don't think it will be. I think it's going to be just fine because I intend on fertilizing it and watering and everything else just like I would if I had planted it up here in a raised bed or in the in-ground gardens or wherever. So let's get it in the ground. So these beds right here haven't been mulched that long, so they don't have much broke down underneath, like broke down soil. So I'm going to dig me out a spot and put in some of my compost, and then I'll plant the onions into that.
It looks like pretty good dirt under there.
It's just black mulch.
Oh.
Something's got some roots there though. You see them roots? I wonder if that's coming from the apple tree.
They're tiny. I think it is because it's pretty close to it.
There's an earthworm.
There's a corn cob.
That was in that compost.
Oh.
So these multiplying onions, that's what they look like there.
They're all bunched together.
Yep. So what I think we should probably do is break some of these apart and plant them like that. Probably could actually break it into individual bulbs, but I'm just going to keep them in clumps for now.
More onions. You gonna have enough room to plant them?
Maybe. Alright, we'll see if those come up. That ain't no good either.
That one got bottom and blossom in right.
Did it? Oh. It's a pretty little one.
This is the prettiest tomato I've ever seen.
It's about perfect, ain't it?
Yeah.
Alright, Jacob. Go find...
There's a worm.
Where?
Right here.
Yep, little earthworm. Cover him up. He's getting cooked. So I believe I'm going to plant me another cluster of these bunching onions here.
Alright, I'm actually going to scoot the apple butter over. You know, I saved my apple scraps, and we're going to make some apple scrap apple jelly. I want to try making this jelly from these apple scraps. This is something new to me. I have not tried this, but so many of y'all suggested trying it, so I'm going to give it a go. So y'all know that I'm on this kick that I don't want to use Sure Gel or store-bought pectin. So I ain't going to do this no different. It's going to be the same, which y'all saw me make jelly all season. I ain't planning on using anything, and apples actually have a really high natural pectin anyway, so it should work out pretty good. These scraps have been in the refrigerator overnight, so they've gotten all brown and ugly, but it's fine. I didn't put anything on them to prevent them from doing that. So I'm going to cover my apple scraps with water. I want them covered all the way over the top. We're going to make us juice, broth, whatever you want to call it. And y'all, there's something exciting that I hope is up and running by the time this video comes out. We are starting something a little bit different. We are going to start sending out a weekly, I don't know if you would call it newsletter, but just a weekly email with thoughts from the week. And Andy is going to be writing most of them. A lot of you probably don't know, but Andy is an excellent creative writer. He is so good at putting thoughts into words. I didn't get that trait. I can stand here and talk to you all day long, but putting it on a piece of paper, I'm not going to lie to y'all, it is hard. It's hard for me. But Andy is such a great creative writer, and we thought this would be another way to connect with y'all, because every one of you, you know, you feel like family to us. We recognize the names in the comments, and I know that a lot of y'all aren't able to comment. You watch it on TV or something like that, but we feel the connection. We feel the love, and we feel the prayers every day. And that's just another way for us to connect with y'all. So if it's something you'd be interested in, signing up for our email, or, well, we say weekly. We're going to try weekly. It may not be every week, but we'll see. If you're interested in reading some of Andy's thoughts that run through his mind as the week goes on, I will leave a link for y'all to sign up for that through our website. Our website is truegrit.appalachianways.com. Y'all bear with me, work in progress, but the sign up page is there if you want to get emails. Like I said, I just feel like that's another good way that we can connect with y'all, because we love connecting with our audience. And look, I done stood here and talked so long, I done forgot what I was doing. I gotta cut this heat on. Okay. So now with our apple scraps, I'm just gonna let this simmer for probably like 30 minutes. I want it to kind of turn into apple juice, I guess. Oh, the smell of fall. Apples always put me in mind of fall. Before I get too carried away, I am gonna check on these. Oh yeah. See how soft those have gotten? And how they've kind of changed colors. They went from bright white to that. Now we can run this through a sieve, which is probably, it might be what I should do. I'm gonna cut this off. I'm gonna grab my other handy dandy thingamajigger that is dyed purple from other fruits. I think this thing is called a food meal. Food meal, that's what it is, food meal. Volley food meal. I'm just gonna run some of these pieces through there. Yes, I could easily also run this in my food processor. But I don't feel like getting it out right now. So we're gonna run it through this. Plus, for whatever reason, and it's probably all in my mind, I like the texture from this thing better than the food meal. I mean, better than the food processor. Probably no difference whatsoever. This is gonna give us a smooth apple butter though. And if I get tired of doing it and I don't do the whole pot, it'll be fine. I didn't do this right here for my applesauce. I just mashed it with my tater masher. And it turned out fine. And you know, a lot of this depends on what variety apples you have too. Some cook up better than others. I think these, what I've got, are Jonah Gold. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. And now I'm gonna have to make us some biscuits, since I'm gonna be in the kitchen anyway, so we can try out this apple butter once it gets closer to being done.
I'm going to take and save those, Jacob, because these have still got a lot of good seed heads on them. We could probably save the seeds out of them.
Okay. Now, what are these?
This is the purple cone flower. You remember that flower? Right there's the deal.
Yep.
You remember that flower that was out here that had them big, pretty purple blooms on it?
Yeah.
Well, that's what this is.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, there's some good-looking dirt under there.
Are you going to need any of your compost?
I'm probably going to mix some in with it. Dump some in there. I'll mix it all up. Alright. So this is a bulb from what we saved last year. Yes, this is some hard-neck garlic. This right here is German white garlic. That's a huge clove. So that is what I'm going to plant. And I'm going to break away each one of those. Each one of those cloves will make garlic. So out of that one clove, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So out of that one clove, I get 8 plants of garlic that should make 8 more bulbs. Now when planting garlic, we just want to bury them up in the ground like that, cover them up. All right. There you go. These, I think, Jacob, we're just going to continue this row on out.
Okay.
So you can put them in the ground.
Is that one?
Yeah, that's a monster ant.
Yeah.
Put that in over here.
Okay.
There's already one right there. Dig it out with your hand.
Oh.
There you go.
It's been a while since I planted garlic.
Yeah, plant that one.
Now where do I plant it at?
Where it was at.
Okay.
So that alone, that ought to be 8 hills of garlic right there.
In one garlic
Just
bulb.
off of one garlic bulb, that's right.
And that ought to make 8 more. Garlic is one of them plants that you can plant one and then make a whole lot and then plant those and then make more, make twice as much and then plant those and make how many more you plant as much.
So the next bit of garlic we're going to plant, I'm going to put it out here around these fruit trees. So that'll be 8 plants up there as long as they all come up. And then we've got several more bulbs in here that we're going to bust open, and I'm just going to randomly plant them all throughout the mulch rings. And in amongst here, I'm probably going to put a couple more clumps of the multiplying onions as well. So I know this right here looks like a bunch of wood chips, but once you scratch the surface and get down in there, you got some really nice looking soil.
Wow.
So I'm thinking I'm going to make me a ring just like that right there. And I'm going to have me one whole ring of garlic right around this blueberry.
Oh, wow. And it's black dirt. There's a little bit of clay down in there.
The black comes from all the mulch and stuff that's been added through the years. All right, I'll bust them apart and you plant them.
Okay.
I want to plant them about, I don't know, 8 inches apart. You know how long that is?
That maybe?
About right.
Okay.
You got any more cloves up here?
No.
Dang, is it? I need one more. So now it's the easy part.
Just, it would make this even more easy.
What?
If you had a hoe. That would make it like an ultra easy.
Yeah, it would. So, there it is. So that right there, I will fertilize just like I would fertilize my garlic anywhere else. I will not fertilize it until it pops through though. So, I'll give it time to pop up. And then I'll throw me a little bit of 10-10-10 or something by it. And we're gonna see how this experiment works. So, next one. Hey Jacob, grab that bag of garlic.
Okay.
I've always heard garlic is a deer repellent. I don't know if that's true or not. I haven't had much luck at all with any of these natural deer repellents. But if what not better place to try than the blueberry that was destroyed by a deer here the other night. This blueberry right here was beautiful, up about that tall. And from the looks of it, a little young buck must have got a hold of it and he horned that thing to death. About made me sick when I seen it. So, like I said, what better place to plant garlic if it's going to repel deer than right beside a blueberry that the deer have destroyed. Look at that earthworm. He's a wiggling like crazy.
Oh my gosh, he looks like one of them snakes wiggling all around.
I believe this soil looks better than that up there in that other bed did. We'll plant these multiplying onions.
Okay.
Put them in the ground. You know they go up right, I'm sure, don't you?
The top?
Yeah.
Okay.
The point goes up.
Cause I was about to say if I was doing it wrong, I was about to say
Too late now, ain't it?
all of our beds that we've done planted in garlic is not gonna come up then, unless the plant like turns all the way around. The blueberry is gonna be like a castle. It's gonna have its own mud.
Some people may be watching this and say, why in the world don't that little old girl just go on to these little country stores and buy her some apple butter instead of standing there and doing it? Because it is. Apple butter you get these little country stores, it's really good. I'm not above that or anything, but I don't know. Gives you a sense of satisfaction. It really makes you appreciate. Oh, I found a chunk of apple. You really appreciate that apple butter. And honestly, I think it makes it taste better, and it's probably because you've put all this work into it. And it just makes it taste better. Maybe it's the love that you add into it when you're making something like this. So right here's what I'm working with now, and you can still see I missed a few little chunks, but nothing that I'm worried about. It's pretty smooth, so this is when you really gotta start watching it. So I'm gonna go ahead and let this start heating up again. When it gets warm enough to really start melting sugar, because I've had my heat off while I was straining it, then I will add our sugar in there.
How long does it take garlic to make?
Well, you plant it now, and you can plant it as late as October or November around here. And you'll usually pull it in late May to July. Sometimes, yeah, in between late May and July.
Okay.
Just depends. You can tell when it gets ready because it starts to turn, the leaves start to turn really yellow. And sometimes they can start to fall over, and that's a sign that your garlic's ready to pull.
How do you bust it open? There. Oh, there.
There's earthworms all in this.
That's how you know it's really good dirt.
Yep, that's a good sign. These things are hard to break.
I felt it.
Well, why don't I tell you this, Jacob?
What?
How about you just be in charge of taking care of our garlic this year?
Okay.
How about that? Instead
Okay.
of planting your own, I'll just put you in charge of it. There's a bunch of cloves in this one.
You might have to help me a little bit. And also, especially since we're using my fertilizer. Right?
Mm-hmm. Well, the garlic is done. Now let's plant a few more hills of these multiplying onions. And I think that's probably all we're going to try to plant out here. What'd you find?
An apple. It looks like it's red. It looks like it's good. But then the apple right beside it is rotten. No, good.
Is it good? All right.
Can't wait until we start getting a whole lot of apples off our trees.
I know. All right. I believe that's plenty of these multiplying onions planted. We will find somebody else to share those with, the rest of them. They heard me smack a bucket. I was dumping out the rest of the compost. They think I got something to eat. That's how you know you got your cows trained right. All you got to do is smack a bucket and they come running. Pitiful, pitiful, pitiful. Y'all starving to death, ain't you? Especially you. I actually need to put you on a diet. Lord have mercy, y'all. Just look at them looking at me. I think they're mad. Huh?
We don't have no feed.
I think they're mad at me because I smacked the bucket and I ain't got no feed for them.
Put some dirt in the bucket and here, you want your feed, and say, here, you want your feed? This is what I did.
Sling them some dirt.
Yeah.
They really would be mad about that. All right. Well, I reckon that's about it for the gardening today. I know that wasn't very exciting, but about too wet to do anything else. Here's what few tomatoes we got off of that plant. But you know, as for using these spaces, you know, stuff like corn or potatoes or even, I don't know, I might try some sweet potatoes around one of these apple trees, but I don't really want the vines growing out into the yard either. But things that you only need just a few of, like squash, or might even try some cucumbers on them or something. But just little things like that, that's what I'm going to try to start utilizing those spaces for. And that way I'm not taking up much room at all in my main gardens. And I can have more room in those to plant the crops that I do need a lot of, such as corn, beans, peas, stuff like that. Potatoes. Anyways, I want to try it and see how it goes. We'll see next spring if I actually hold to that.
And when I make apple butter, I usually make it in my big pot here, like we were talking about earlier. And so the recipe I am going to be telling you is for this size pot. I like to fill it up with the apple slices and then whatever applesauce I get. Maybe, I don't know. Don't even know. I don't know how many apples to tell you. Maybe 20 to 30 apples, but it depends on, you know. So I'm going to say 12 quarts of peeled cored apple rings. I had it up to here. So that the recipe I'm going to be giving you, that goes for this size here. The first thing we're going to do is put our sugars in. You can make apple butter with only molasses if you want to, and that's perfectly fine. And this is just the way that we like it. So there is a cup of white sugar, and we're going to need a cup of brown sugar, or you can do another cup of white sugar. I'm actually just going to do another cup of white sugar today. Now we're going to need around a half a cup to a cup of molasses. I'm going to start off with a half a cup, and we'll taste it after it cooks for a little bit. A lot of you may be wondering if we're going to make any of that this year. I know probably several of you probably come over from that video series where we did make it. And I'm going to tell you, last year we tried to plant it, and it never did rain, and most of it didn't come up. We had just enough come up that we were able to save enough seeds to plant for this year. Well, this year it was so wet when it was time to plant it that we had other things that were higher on the priority list to get in the ground before the rain, while the land was dry enough to work. And well, by the time we had time and that field got dry enough to work, we were out of time. So we did not get to plant any this year. High hopes for next year. What I need for our apple butter is about a tablespoon of cinnamon. And a good sprinkle of ground ginger. And I'm gonna get all that mixed in there. So that's just gonna, like I said, cook for a couple more hours. Just kind of let it simmer. I'm gonna stir it. You want to stir it at least every probably 10 minutes just to keep it from sticking to the bottom. And I'll show you what it looks like when it gets a little further along. This is still simmering and making our apple juice for our jelly. That ain't gonna be no big deal though.
I'm setting all these green ones to the side. I won't shell them yet.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do with these too if there's any in here.
They ain't none in there. They all dry for the most part. We didn't have no green ones.
Oh, okay. Well, it'll be alright. I'll just save them as, cook them as dried beans.
Well, they can be dried beans or seeds, either one. It don't matter.
Yep. We won't need this many seeds.
I know, that'd be a lot of
Yeah.
black-eyed peas.
Yes, it would be.
Oh, those are molded. I don't want those.
Here. So, I just threw some biscuits in the oven. I thought, what better way to try apple butter, make sure it tastes like it's supposed to, than on a hot biscuit.
That's the only way, ain't it?
That's the only way you can really tell.
Yeah, these peas, the peas and the seeds and all this that you see us shelling, these are what we picked in our last video. They've been sitting up here on the porch, so the shells have dried out a little bit from what they were the other day. But yeah, they need to sit out in the open and dry off just a little bit more before we put them up.
And so, I'm boiling my apple peelings and stuff to make apple jelly. Because it still can make apple juice from the cores and the peelings, apparently. Had a lot of people leave it in the comments, so I thought I would try it.
I ain't got many of these scarlet runner beans that I saved. I didn't see we needed too many seeds.
No, but they sure were pretty. That was probably one of my most favorite things that we planted, even though we didn't eat any of them.
Well, right there's about all the seeds we started out with.
Mm-hmm.
And I still got quite a few to shell.
Yeah, I want to eat a few of them, try them.
Well, that's what I got the green ones over there for. Which I guess you could let these dry and rehydrate them too, couldn't you?
Oh, yeah.
If you wanted to.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I was saying in the last video. I seen some people say that they ain't really fitting to eat, and some people say that they're really good, so.
We got to try them and see for ourselves.
Yeah.
Oh,
You gotta go stir your stuff.
yep, check on my biscuits.
Get it stirred.
Yeah.
Resetting it again.
Well, yeah, because it's getting to the critical point. I'm scared it's going to start sticking.
How long will it be before it's done?
I'll help you as long as I can. Oh, probably probably about another hour.
Well, I'm not sure how many of these green beans I'm gonna shell. I picked a lot more of them than I meant to. I mean, if I'm just using them for seed to replant.
Yeah, you don't need many.
So after making that apple butter and everything, how many apples you got left now?
About a bushel and a half.
Still. What's your plans now for the rest of them?
Actually, it's probably more closer to 2 bushels. Well, I'm gonna dry some, and the kids. I mean, the good thing about apples is they keep pretty good. You know, especially in the house next to that air conditioning vent. And the kids love apples.
Well, I know the kids. Yeah, they're eating fire out of them.
One year, I don't think it was last year. I think it was year before last. I had a box of apples next to that air vent for what, a month?
Pretty good while.
And I did that, you know, so Jacob would have some to eat.
Well,
Because at the time, Maggie wasn't eating them that much, but now she likes them as much as she does. Yeah, that apple butter, you just have to watch it, especially once it really starts thickening up, because it'll try to burn to the bottom. Which that big pot's got that heavy bottom on it, so it helps with that some.
Well, I know one thing. Every time you open up that door,
It smells pretty good.
it smells good. Jacob was telling me he wanted to take and plant a couple of garlic cloves for himself.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I told him, I said, well, your garden's fixing to be turned back into the chicken coop. I said, how about you just take care of our our garlic period?
There you go.
So he said, okay. And he's going to take his, he's still got some of that fertilizer he made.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to take
Oh,
that
it'll be
and
good
pour
now.
on. Oh, yeah.
It'll be right.
I'm sure it stinks.
Oh, yeah. It'll be right now.
Jacob took comfrey leaves and grass clippings and mixed it all up pretty stout and was letting it soak in water, and that's what he used for his fertilizer in his garden.
And his garden did really good, especially for a 10-year-old to be tending it in a spot that we didn't know how it would do anyway.
Yep, I mean, he learned a whole lot, and I ain't gonna lie, I learned a whole lot too.
Well, that's how life's supposed to be. Never stop learning. Once you know it all, that's the end. That's it.
Oh, there's so much in this world now, I don't believe a man could ever know it all. That smells good. Look at that big wooden spoon. Where do you get that thing at?
Somebody made it and sent it to us. I've had it.
Is that one of those?
Yeah.
That's cool. All right.
But this is my finished apple butter. Maybe not quite as thick as some people do it, but that's thick enough for us. So I'm happy with that.
Let me tell y'all what. I wish we had smell-o-vision.
Yeah.
It smells so good. You open that back door and come into the house like it just hit you in the face.
It smells good. So I'm gonna put me some on a biscuit, and so let me just tell y'all. Y'all know we always preach and say we show y'all real life, right? Well, I know y'all haven't seen this, but here we are, a couple hours at least since last time you saw us. We were outside trying to finish shelling those peas, and our sweet neighbors came by, and we have been out there hanging out on the porch, having some great conversation, just enjoying the fall evening. They got to be my guinea pigs and Andy, and tried my apple butter when it got finished. And well, we just had a good time out there talking. I'm gonna try a bite of this.
Even though I've done tried a bite, I want another bite. Can I fix me a biscuit?
No.
I can't.
Go ahead. Biscuits are on point. Apple butter's on point. Yeah,
On point ain't the word for it. That apple butter's right.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh, I got too much. That's gonna make a mess.
Oh, you were smart enough to get a napkin.
You want one?
No, I'm gonna lay mine right here.
Hey, it's so good.
Last night, I was working apples till after 8 o'clock last night. Working with these apples, and I done told myself today, because I'm about to give out. I think we all are. And I said, I am not working apples till 8 o'clock again tonight. I had done told Andy that. So, I did not get around to making my apple scrap jelly. My juice is done, because I've let the scraps boil or simmer until they're nice and soft. And so, the next step in the jelly is straining off the juice to see how much juice you have before you make your jelly. I'm going to strain the juice for my jelly, and the jelly can just wait till tomorrow.
So is this the juice here?
Mm-hmm.
And that's your scraps that you're making jelly out of?
Yeah.
I think that is so cool. I did not know you could do that.
Yeah.
But that is so cool.
I mean, I've never done it, but I'm going to try it. I think it's going to work good.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? If worse comes to worse, at least I haven't wasted any.
Yeah.
If I don't get around to making it tomorrow, but I will. My apple butter, I will put it in jars and water bath it for, I think it's 10 minutes. I'll double check my canning book for that. But that won't be a big deal. So, that's been our evening. Now, here we've come up on supper time.
Well,
time to feed the
6
animals. But y'all know what I'm saying. When you say you have good conversations, that's when you sit here and you realize, you're like, this is what life's about. Listening to the kids play and talking with your neighbors.
Well, we've been out there having a good time talking, and
rocking in the rocking chairs,
yeah.
So Even though that kind of stuff don't make it to video.
Oh, hey, I got to tell this real quick. Because the tripod was set up on the porch, and it had the microphone jack and all that on it. The camera wasn't on it, but the microphone and all that was. And actually, maybe the camera was on it at that time. Yeah. She looked at it. Well, it's her and her husband's here, but she looked at it. She said, "That thing ain't on, is it? If it's on, I'm going back home. I don't want to be on no camera." She said, "They won't watch you no more if you put me on that camera." I got so tickled, but it wasn't on. We wasn't recording. It was just standing there. Yeah. But she just all of a sudden seen it, walked right by it when she went to sit down, but never even seen it there. And then she realized it was there and started kind of freaking out over it.
But you've heard us talk of our neighbors before, and we're so thankful for them. And so anyways, they just came to hang out with us this evening, and we enjoyed some good fellowship and conversation. And well, I guess I'm fixing to figure out what I'm going to throw together for supper. I'm going to throw this juice in the fridge and put this in some jars and call it a day.
So are you going to strain that tonight, or are you just going to set it in the fridge like that?
No, I'll strain it and get that out of it. I don't know what it would hurt to do it, but I'm just going to strain it into a jar.
Well, I think I'm going to go run around and get everything fed, get all that outside stuff taken care of.
And I'm going to figure out what we're going to eat. Apple butter and biscuits. There's supper.
I mean, hey, I'm not going to complain. I wish I could let everybody taste this.
But anyways, guys, I guess that's going to about wrap up today's video. I hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your week and a wonderful rest of your day. And anyways, we see y'all on the next one.
Y'all have a good one.
Y'all have a good one.
I was trying to get it eaten before you got to me.